Grant, we just got through talking to Sam, and I don't know how many times he said physically whipped when he talked to us. Just your thoughts about coming in and what they did to y'all today.
Yeah, I think that's exactly that. That was a really good football team. So you got to be able to say the facts right there. We came in thinking we would have to play a perfect game to be able to win this game and just be us. And we didn't win in any of the phases of the three phases, special teams, offense, or defense, and it showed. I think every single one of us, we're sitting in the locker room. We know what we have to do to be able to get better. We have to be able to not let this loss make it into two. We have to be able to bounce back, and we have to be able to go back and start preparing for Ole Miss. But we have to definitely learn from this game. And like he said, they out-physicaled us.
Yeah, Grant, it's interesting that you go from playing this style of offense to what you're going to face next week at Ole Miss. Just how do you guys think you're going to bounce back and play against them?
We're going to bounce back because that's what we do. That's what good football teams do, and we're a good football team. Just because of how this game went today, that doesn't define us. It defines our game against Georgia, but that doesn't define us who of a football team that we are. We have to be able to bounce back and to be able to show that we deserve to be up there and be able to be talked about with one of the good teams in this league. To be able to say the differences between offenses, everyone can kind of see the differences between offenses. They kind of run the same offense as our offense, a little quick up tempo. But we have a lot of time to be able to learn about them and be able to focus on them. We have to learn what we did wrong against Georgia and see what we can do to be able to better that ourselves against a team like this.
Hey.
Yeah, Grant, just the penalties. I mean, you had one play where there were they got to take their pick of 3 penalties on the same play. Just anything you can put your finger on what happened with them today.
Yeah, I talked to the head guy a couple of times, and he was saying there was one play that he thought he could have called one more, but I don't get scholarship check to be able to say which refs or which penalties or what, but that's definitely something we have to work on if they're all true to what they say. We have to work on penalties because that sets our offense back, that sets our defense back. We were on the field 3rd and 9 and we get a penalty. We're in our pass coverage, or we're in our we get a offsides, we get a hold, and we get another hold on another guy. That hurts a football team, no matter how good of players you got or how good of a scheme you got or how good of a offense you have running the ball good. Like it hurts a football team to be able to have penalties, and we have to be able to cut those out on all sides of the ball.
Thank you.
Let me know on questions for Grant. Bob.
Hey, Grant. You guys have been a pretty good run defense all year, even playing good run teams like Texas and A&M. What do you think was the difference for Georgia today? Are they just that good, or what do you think was going on with the run game today?
They found our pockets. If you watch film or watch the game, they would like to line up the way we line our 3 down. They would line up and flip the back or flip the tight end, and then try to hit the bubble in our defense and try to run to the open gap to make either the nickel or the safety, or make me or the linebackers be able to play 2 gaps and be able to come off and make a play. They did a really good job scheming us up. But at the end of the day, like we're a sound gap sound team, and we have to be able to make our gaps and then make the play whenever it hits our gaps. Every single one of us can say that we didn't play our best game today. They came off the ball. They started fast. That was our goal, was to start fast, and we didn't do that. As soon as we saw that 13 was in, we knew that we were going to get quarterback run. So it wasn't a surprise to not see JT Daniels out there. We just knew that we were going to have a different game plan. And we knew we had to stop the run in the first play. They got 10 yards on a dang run. So we have to be able to adjust, be able to find a way to win no matter what. So that's kind of what happened in the run game today.
Bennett, he came off the bench last year against you guys and played well, and he's played well as a starter, but you guys really didn't make it to where they had to pass today because they ran so effectively. First of all, what'd you think of Bennett, and how tough was it that you couldn't, make it to where they had to pass?
Bennett, he's a hell of a football player. He's been that way. He was that way last year when he played every game for him until the end of the year. He can make plays extended with his legs. But it's not like he's like head and shoulders worse than JT Daniels. They're both really good quarterbacks. And the thing about the run game is, as a defense, it doesn't matter. We got the ball on our side of the field. It felt like almost every other time, but it doesn't matter. We have to be able to stop the run first, and that's just something we didn't do. I'll have to watch film and tell you exactly. I don't know exactly. I kind of thought they were flipping the running backs and tight ends, but as a defense, you have to be able to get off the field or you can't help your team.
Thanks.
All right, let me know if you've got questions. Hutch.
Yeah, Grant, y'all hadn't allowed a point in the first quarter through the first 4 games, and they came out and punched you in the mouth with a couple of touchdowns. Did that surprise you at all? And what were the conversations like on the sideline, trying to fix that?
Yeah, it did surprise me as a player, watching our defense and being on the field. It surprised me that they came out and scored, and how easily they did, really. But after the first 2 touchdowns we let up, we did a good job of stopping the run for the most part and being able to get off the field. They had a field goal, they had a blocked kick. As a defense, we made the adjustments. They were going C gap runs pretty much. They'd start in the A gap and then bounce to the C gap and make our DBs come up and tackle. And it's hard for a defensive back to be able to play the pass and from 10 yards and be able to come down and tackle. So that's what they were doing. And we had to have a good scheme. We had to change up the scheme after the 2 drives where they scored on us. We did a good job adjusting. And then second half, they just ran at will. Their O-line, as soon as a running back, we would stand them up. Their O-line would come in and push. They would give extra 3, 4, 5 yards every single play. We got to do a better job tackling. It starts with me. It starts with everyone. We got to do a better job at just running and hitting. That's our motive, right? Running and hitting. So we got to just do a better job at that.
Yeah, Grant, Coach Pittman recruited most of his offensive linemen for Georgia. Do you feel like he recruited too well for him, or just how good is that offensive line, do you think?
That was the best offensive line we've seen all year. That's the best team we've seen all year. I bet you the offense will say that's the best defensive front. Everyone that they've seen all year. That's a really good football team. Yeah, Coach Pittman, he did a good job for them, and he's doing a good job for us too.
And I think, most people, I know you guys want to win them all, but I think most people for the season would have taken a 4-1 start against that schedule. How much confidence, or did your confidence take a hit? I don't mean yours, but I mean the teams, or how do you guys kind of handle that when I know you expected to play better today?
Yeah. This year we expected to win this game. We came into this game to win this game. We didn't come in the game to keep it a close game or whatever the spread was, to play it and make sure that people won money. We came in here to be able to focus on us and be able to win the game. We don't play the games to just go and keep it close and be happy about 4-1. We are happy. We're realistic. We know like we're light years ahead of what we could be or what we should be right now as an Arkansas team, but we don't care about that. We want to be able to be in every single game. Our goals are still there at the end of the year of what we want to do. We'd love to play Georgia again, and that's our goal, but we got to be able to focus one game at a time. And we're happy about 4-1, but we're not happy about losing today at all.
Thanks.
Thanks, Grant.
Yep. Thank y'all.